Hello, hello. Welcome back to Note by Note. Today is a very special day. You are going to hear that I'm going to feel a bit distracted. It's because it's very noisy. I'm not in a studio. I am at the Maritime Hotel in Stuttgart, in Germany, because I am at FMX. So I'm streaming and I'm here in the hotel. Let me just show you. I can do it today. Yeah, this is the hotel. Here we are. That is the piano bar where the magic happens. Where you can ask uncomfortable questions to the people that are creating the magic. So, how are you guys doing? Just because this is an unusual space for me, and I had a bit of today a history. Just let me know in the chat if you can hear me, and if not, or something is strange or whatever, just try to communicate. I'm going to keep an eye in there. Today was a very interesting day. I have to wake up at 4 because I at 4 a.m. Because it was a very early flight to because yesterday I was working, and today I had to be at the FMX early. So yeah, and I can hear, and of course they lost my baggage. And in my baggage, it was my microphone, my headphones, my camera for doing so. So yeah, so this is a very good opportunity for me just to tell you that when you want to do something, you find a way. When you don't, you find an excuse. So today we found a way. So yeah, I have my Wacom pen, which is everything pretty much that I need. So my Wacom and my laptop and my iPad, that is my second monitor, where I have my all the things that I need for interacting with this. So first of all, as usual, I just like to thank Foundry. So let me here you are. I would like to thank Foundry because thanks Foundry for having me here at FMX. They are sponsoring me here, and I am presenting. If you are here at FMX, I am presenting tomorrow morning the Power Hour for education. So we are going to discuss about the state of educating in visual effects. On Thursday, after lunch, I don't remember well the time, but in the afternoon, I'm going to be talking about copycats. Okay, so first of all, I wanted to say thank you to Foundry. And of course, I want to thank also to King Tools because I found my friends here at the booth at the marketplace in FMX. So they are there. My good friend Roman also was there. So if you are at FMX, don't miss the opportunity to meet them because they are amazing and they have new toys, new software that oh my god they show me is shocking. It's really amazing. So yeah, I just wanted to say hi and to pay my respects to Kintours because remember that I'm using their tools for this series that I'm using. And yeah, and I just wanted to shout out to them. So FMX, this is the first day. I'm super tired, and guess I smell because I don't smell my own my own scent, I would say. But I'm super happy to be here with you, especially because it's very rewarding to be able to put in act the act of consistency. So that is something very important when you are doing something. Sometimes you are more in the mood for doing it. Sometimes you are not. But whatever happens, you do it because you know that you have to do it. So consistency is a very good way of demonstrating is self-love at the end of the day because you are doing what is right instead of what you want to do right now. So you are doing what is right for the big picture. So you are doing what is but you know that it needs to be done. And for me, my dears, my lovelies, I'm here for you. So I promised that I was going to be every Tuesday. And since I started, I haven't missed any of my appointments. And I'm very happy about that. Of course, maybe something happens like a force majeure or whatever, but if I can, I will. Here I am. So let's start with the actual thing that we are here for. So let me just do. By the way, it may happen that they interrupt me because I sit in the middle of the hall, just because I just wanted to have the the environment, the right environment for this. And FMX is amazing for that because you meet the people you love. So here you are. This is my screen today. Let me see what, because I can see the menu is in there. Again, it's unusual for me, okay? So thank you for your understanding. So, okay, is not exactly working. So I am sharing my screen, but it's not displaying my screen. So give me just a sec. Mm-mm-mm. Here you are. Okay, so this is going to be my screen today. I hope, yeah, the resolution should be okay. If not, if there is anything you don't see correctly or whatever, just put in the chat. I see you guys are here. I see Federico, Tiscar, Oliver, Cancol, Gavin, Eric. I mean, thank you. And Bruno, by the way, Bruno was the first one who say hello in here. So probably maybe I'm going to see my good friend Hugo. I saw him around before this morning. He was the first person I saw when I arrived to the hotel. And he had also another adventure with the flight. So yeah, if someone is coming, maybe I can invite you. And if you are around and you want to pop up, just here, so you can say hello to everybody. And let's go to what we are here for. Remember, the rules are very simple. I come, you watch. I'm just going to keep doing the things that I love. So I just make sure everything is in here. So yeah, I travel every time. I'm traveling with everything for doing the streaming. Now, okay, so the last thing that we did last time was the reflection in the eyes. See? And something that we need to address now is how to place the reflections and how to organize this script that, as you can see, is not complex. Of course, you can get as complicated as you want when you are doing the graphics, because at the end this is a motion graphics driven shot. The integration is just what I'm paying more attention because it's my field of expertise, just to play with the light of that. But I'm more interested on this, but this doesn't change the fact that this is a motion graphics shot. So um let's separate the reflections. The reflections need to be in a different place. So it's going to be in here. This is going to be in there. So I'm I'm not sure, but I think in the face builder, you have an option. Here you are to hide certain areas of the model, the base model of the head. So I'm going to do something. I don't know if this is going to work, but in any case, it's going to be a good excuse for me to show you something that is really cool, which is, let me show you this in the 3D space. Um, let's put also um, the projection. Do I need the projection here now? Not really. I'm just going to leave the projection for another moment. What I need is like, look, I can deactivate certain areas of the of this. So I can deactivate the ears. I can deactivate the eyes, but I can actually do the other way around. So I can deactivate many, many areas. The thing is, like, if I keep the eyes, as I'm doing right now, see, just the eyes, I can duplicate this face tracker, just apply the camera. The I don't really need the texture. I mean, I'm going to put it because it's not hurting anybody. But uh, I'm just reading the comments. So Eric is saying, you sound very quiet. Let me just, I'm just trying to, I am I am very quiet. So can you guys hear me well? I think the waveform of the microphone is actually quite good, but the thing is, like, because it's not a, I'm using the microphone of the laptop, so I don't know if the quality is actually good. If you understand me or not, just uh, let me know in the chat, okay? So I will try my best to fix it, if whatever it is. So this is the face tracker, and this should be working like this. So let's apply all the tracking texture is going to be there. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to make a space on this side, because what I want is actually to generate a matte, so I don't need to create the roto of the eyes. So with this, I'm just going to put a scene. I just have to turn it up a lot, and my students lack notification, so you are. Oh, I see. Sorry about that. Yeah, it's because I put the voice isolation just to avoid, because in here really is super loud. The piano bar is in front of me, and it's super loud. So it's quite cool that you can hear me well. My volume in here is at the maximum. So this is the best I can do. Sorry about that. But I mean, if it's not working or whatever, I can add gain or something, but it's going to distort a bit the quality. Okay. So let's put a scene in here, and I'm going to connect the camera. Um, of course, I need to give a material. And the material that I'm going to give to this is going to be a constant RGBA all white. So the material and everything should be, I mean, I can put even that in there for the texture. I can put it in there. Maybe that is going to be even easier. So scanline render. This goes there. And yeah, so let's find now, as usual, I like to use a reformat. I don't like to put a constant unless it's necessary. Here you are, and here you are. What I was expecting is a very nice traveling matte of the eyes. So with this, I'm just going to make sure it's in there. Let me make more space in here. And this is going to be a matte. So this is going to be the eyes matte. So if I want to put the reflection in here, Okay, it's in the it's not in the right position because I didn't track the spheres. That is something that I'm going to do. So I think it was something like frame 66. If I remember the frame right, I'm really amazing. No, I'm not amazing. Well, I am amazing. I just don't remember the frame. What was the frame that I was doing in there? Anyway, um, what I need is to create a mat in order to apply the reflection just in the right place. So that is the message. So it's an over. Right now it's an over. I don't want that to be an over. I'm going to use another operation, but for the time being, let's leave it like that. Okay, now, as you can see, the nice thing about this is like the because the tracking has been correctly done, this mat is pretty much perfect. So the only thing that I'm going to add is a blur because why not? Look, here you are. Look, I just love the blur. I couldn't, I mean, if you tell me what is the most important node in Nuke, there are two nodes for me that I don't know what is more important. But you have the blur and the grade. You can remove whatever you want, but if you remove the blur and the grade, I cannot work. It's just impossible. So let's go back to the scene, the 3D scene that we have the eyes. So the nice thing that I'm going to do is like, because I have the 3D eyes and these eyeballs, I can actually apply transformations in order to make that move. Um, in theory, because everything was linked to this axis, everything should be in here with the same parameters. So what I'm going to do is like, just to contextualize, I'm going to put a scene in here and another scene in there. So just to, because I don't think I'm going to, just to, I'm not, I'm not going to do the whole scene right now because it could be really boring. But see, more or less, okay, I'm just going to rotate as well. Mm, okay, so that is the position. Now I'm going to do a few keyframes so you get an idea, but I'm not going to do the whole thing because right now I just want to lay out. Remember, I prefer to work with the big strokes, and the big strokes for me are just trying to understand if this is working or not. So I'm going to center that in here, and this is frame. So I'm going to put a node, sticky node. This is frame 101. And this is going to be my reference frame. Reference frame. So I see people that is staring at me. So yeah, here you are. So this is the reflection. Okay. So now what we need to find, because of course you have to track that. I mean to track, just to rotate the center, and you can play again. If you have this main axis, you can always attach one axis to the rest. So this one that is going to drive the whole setup. You can just hook this one to this one as well. Okay, so remember, just try to work once and apply to the rest. I just did this in a temporary way, but then I can show you how to optimize this once you have the setup complete. But right now, what I want is just to focus on how to catch the reflections. Okay, so um, what will be the right operation for this? Well, it depends. It depends on the kind of lighting that you have already here. So let's have a look at the original. In the original, you have reflections. And spoiler alert, you are always going to have reflections. The question is, how are you going to have the reflections? What is the kind of lighting you are applying in here? So sometimes you want to clean the reflections if you can, or other times you just need to lead with what you have. So we are going to ignore. In this case, I'm just going to show you different ways of mixing, so you can just judge by yourself what is the best case scenario. The first one that I'm going to use is the over. What is the nice thing of the over? The over is just going to give you a very solid reflection, which is very nice because it's going to hide the other reflections. And remember that you are actually applying a, a matte for the eyes. So if you are applying a matte for the eyes, maybe you can suppress the, more or less, suppress the reflections and then apply new reflections. So with the over, you are just going to cover the reflections with this, as you can see. So you don't see much of the all reflections, but the all reflections are still there. The over is ignoring at all everything that is in the eye. It's just covering because that is the over. It would be correct if we have like a, a base without light, so a dark base. It would be correct to apply a plus. The plus right now, the issue is like it's going to add values over the previous reflections. In the good side is like you are going to maintain the original colors of the iris or everything that is in there. So if I apply, for instance, in here, a grade just to reduce, everything is going to behave in a very photoreal fashion. Of course, it should be like a little bit of absorption of light, but it should be quite reflective. Now, another thing that we need to understand is like maybe this is diffusing, dif, diffunding the. Oh, I don't know how to say. Well, it's creating a diffusion of light. Okay, I'm a bit tired today, so the diffusion of that light can be represented as always with a blur. So the more that you blur, the less defined is going to be. So you can even just go like really, really like that. But if you go that heavy, you need to go, you need to understand that. Okay, let me show you. Let me show you why. If you go with the with my mapping conceptualization of light, we have been using this plenty of times. So what is the principle that I'm trying to explain? It's like the concept of diffusion. That is what I have in here. Light is just coming to the surface and it's just scattering across. So it's just breaking the ray into different mini rays. So that diffusion, that scatter of the light, that is what is the base of my blur. So the blur is just doing that. But as you can see, when the light is breaking and is scattering and is just sending the rays of light to different places, what you have is like not all the rays are going towards the camera. So you are losing a few rays of light. This is like a pie. So light, in this case, is like a pie. So instead of getting the full pie, you are just getting a portion of the pie because other slices of the pie are just getting outside the camera, which means diffusion is always correlated to intensity. So if you apply here a blur, you should apply together with the blur the control for intensity, the grade. And I just made a joke before, like I cannot live without a blur and a grade. Well, it's true. It's not a joke. It's like I always I always work with those two, and they are super necessary to work together. So for me, the blur is just going to create the scatter, while the grade is going to say how many rays are you losing. So the higher the blur, the higher the dim that you have to apply. So the less value in the multiply, something like that. So it's going to be very, very subtle, something like that. Oops, I just looked, I just pressed a button. Here you go. So this is what I mean. So if you want all the rays to be aligned, something like this, which is pure specularity, as you can see, the rays are not just scattering. So all the rays are going towards the camera. So in that case, you remove blur and grade. So that. So you are going from pure specularity to scatter diffusion. So from that to that. So the thing is, like, to that would be like a super, super shiny reflective area. With this, it will be like a kind of a frosty surface. So it's absorbing certain colors and it's rejecting other colors. So that is the principle of what I was mentioning. Okay. So just to be sure, I'm just going to put this just to make sure we are just going to be you and me without other people interrupting. So um, let me. This was the concept of diffusion that I was mentioning. But I said before that maybe we can apply. Is I'm going to apply a correction in here in order to kill the reflections as much as I can. So let's play. It's time to play with this. So this is my base. Remember, so I'm not going to the process base. I'm going to the original base. So what I'm going to do is like I'm going to place a color correct. I'm going to put it there. So with this, let's try if it's working or not. Here you are. It's working. So I'm going to apply again a bit of a blur, something like that. And what I can do is I can reduce the contrast, increase the, well, reduce the gamma also, increase the gain, increasing here. So is this changing the aspect? Well, it's reducing the contrast. What is the problem? That is killing that, but also it's killing the white area of the eye. So is there a way of playing with that? Well, you can always apply some sort of limitation. So what is the limitation that I'm going to apply here? And I'm not even sure this is going to work or not, but I think it works to give it a try. So what is the factor, the discriminatory factor that I can use to isolate the iris from the white areas of the eye? Well, there is one that I can see very clear, which is the saturation. White has no saturation, while the iris is going to have somehow saturation. So do we have a way of isolating color based on saturation? Of course, we have the keyer that has the saturation, sorry, the saturation key of the keyer. If you like, guys, I can show you how to do the saturation key from scratch. But for today, Let's use that. So let's have a look at how this is looking. Here you are. It's not isolating perfectly, but there is some sweet spot in there. This is grabbing a bit of the rest. So what I'm going to try is to use a medium. And here you are. So with this, what I'm doing is just isolating the area of the iris because I don't want to make this this white area to be like gray. So what I'm going to do is I know this is going to be a bit collapsed right now. So what I'm going to do is like, I'm going to put a point in here. Let me just give me a sec. Okay. I just don't want to have, well, this is good in there. Yeah. So, um, okay. Order is really important. I just want to follow my thoughts, so it is important that I understand what's going on. So the thing is like, okay, this is going to isolate the area, and this is going to tell me that is just the area of the eye. So I can just make sure because the thing is like you have other separations. So just going to make sure I'm going to use the common area. So this and this, it can be in or it can be mask. Um, no, 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 no. Stencil. This is stencil. So with the color correct, here you go. It's not perfect, just to be clear, but can we further process this? This becomes like a challenge. At a certain point, it's like, who is going to win? Well, give me a grade and let's try things. So for instance, I can, oh, this is the alpha, so I can crush those values, see? And now I'm going to expand it out. Let's use this just to be, so, see? Let's try box, for instance. With box, it's going to cover more. You can see better. So the idea is like, we need to find a balance that is not going to kill the image. So let's try that. I can even go and correct just in here with the highlights. Let's go. Let's try that. Yeah. I'm going to kill that. That is targeting, as you can see, the reflection. Okay, see? Now I'm just controlling the reflection. And I can play something like this. Now you can say, hey, but you lost the pupil. Yeah, I lost the pupil, but I'm going to recover the pupil. Why? Because I want to recover the dark areas in there. So this and the original, and I'm going to say, get the minimum. So between this and this, you get the minimum. Here you are. So at the end of the day, what I'm doing is just trying to kill those areas. So I'm going to, oh my God, they're opening a door in there. It's quite cold right now here in Stuttgart. Um, yeah, quite cold and getting frozen also. It's a very interesting day today, but nobody is going to move me from my nuke. So let's apply other things that are going to help. For instance, the color that is happening in there. So something that maybe I could do is like this. I'm going to apply a blur. That is going to be applied just to that area. And this is going to get the minimum again. So now let's see if by here you are. This is what I got. I'm further killing those reflections. So right now I can see the reflections. They are, it's fine. I'm going to try something is like it's going to be like sandpaper for the plate, okay? But let's try it because why not? This is a space to try new things. Yeah, here you are. See the medium is just recovering a bit of the darkness in there. So with those three, I just kill the reflections. Of course, I have in there a bit of a few pixels. So I'm going to make sure they are gone. Yeah, good. So let's have a look at the final result in here. No reflections. And now let's have a look with the base. So after I color correct everything. So this is the base. I'm just going to rise a bit the gamma so you can see the eyes are in there. This is everything that I needed. I don't have much reflection, but have a look at how different this is going to look. See? So what I just did is just killing reflections and specularities from this. So if I apply now my reflections in here, I don't need to cover anything. So I'm not going to use the over. Now we can apply those filters. I'm going to call them filter, but yes, it's just operations. So right now we have the plus. So the plus would be like the most orthodox because it's light. And remember, light needs to be added. But just the plus without anything else is kind of strange. So I have been I have been applying a few elements in here, and I'm going to reprise them. So I'm going to put a bit of diffusion, and I'm going to apply a bit of absorption as well, something like that. And what I wanted to say is like now that we are focusing on this area of the area of the light, there is some component of frostiness that is going to be revealed by this subsurface scattering. So what I'm going to do is like the light of the reflection is going to be entering inside the eye and it's going to scatter outside the eye. So what I'm going to do is a double fusion of the reflection. One is going to be for the glow that I'm going to apply in here, glow, and it's pretty small, just the effect, and I want to keep it small. and this is going to be at before or after the main fusion. Why? Because it's a plus. Remember, it's just basic maths. uh, a, a plus b plus c is the same as b plus c plus a. It's not going to change. So that's why in here. But semantically, to be honest, for some reason, I want to put it in there. Why? Because this is the light that is coming behind. So I don't want to add, because semantically, even if it's in both cases is mathematically correct, I would like to add some sort of logic to how light is being composed. So in here, I'm going to apply another plus. So now, what is the issue that we have in here? This, like, I'm adding twice the light. So I'm adding the light in diffusion in here, and adding the light in there. So naturally, you shouldn't put any light in there without going for at least half. So now you have, with this, the concept is very simple. Half the light is going to be bleeding inside, half the light is going to be reflected. So this is the meaning of those two in there. But of course, there is a certain degree of absorption. Okay, so again, let's go here so I can show you. I'm just trying to make you follow my way of thought. So see, in the scattering, there are rays of light that are coming outside the surface, but then there are other rays that are going and keeping inside. So they are going to be lost, not reflection. So that is what I mean. It's like there is some sort of absorption that is not going to return any value. So those two are the splitting of the light. This is conservation of energy. So you cannot have more reflection than the actual light that is generating. So, okay, so 50% goes to the inside the eye, 50% goes pure reflection. So this is going to look in a natural way. Let me remove this. This is going to be like the natural reflection. Right now it makes no sense, but see that there is some sort of reflection in there, and then other reflection coming from the other side. So give me a sec. I just want to make sure both are filtered. Good. So now let's start. Now that you have the concept of the absorption versus reflection, this grade is what is going to be absorbed. How much is going to be absorbed? So it's going to be absorbed pretty much 20%. And the glow, I just want that to be in a nice diffusion. If you are cool enough, you can go for the non-linear, but yeah, if it's not linear, you cannot apply the linear maths. So it's better that you filter everything at the end. So you apply filters or whatever you want. So this is what is going to diffuse inside. I'm going to give it 10 pixels, and this, of course, needs to be dimmed down by a lot. So that is applying this scattering. So it's absorbing half. This is the splitting of half. This is the absorption of half. They are both the same operation, but not the same logic. Okay? By the way, everything that I'm saying in here, if you are interested, is in my master class. Okay, is I have a master of light that is 50% discount, and it's online, so you can go to nukemasterclass.com, and in there you are going to find my master of light. And as usual, you know that you have also the one-on-one sessions with me. So if you have any doubt or you want to discuss something in a more private environment, so you can do it in here. Okay, today I don't have the I don't have the copy and paste text, so yes, go for that, or if not, go to another video and you will find in there. Okay, I think I need a coffee. So Yeah, I will appreciate, guys, if you want to send me a coffee. Remember that you can always buy me a coffee in this in this area in here. I think it was a very good opportunity to tell you this. So let's go back to the question. So I'm just showing you a bit of this light analysis that I like. This is how I conceive every time I'm making ideas for light, for breaking down light. So the concept of splitting, the concept of absorption, this concept of diffusion. This is going to be pure scattering. This is going to be just diffusion. Okay, so if I put all them together, this is going to give me this, which is still kind of a lot. So you can just apply at the end in here a master, oops, not this, a grade, which is a master switch. Is how much reflection do you want? And you can just go there until it makes sense. Or you can play with the individual elements. It just depends on what is the logic that you are applying. But having a master switch is never a bad idea. Okay. So I'm just going to dim down a bit the elements for the absorption. So something like this, going very subtle. And then in here, something like that. Still a lot, the main one. Something like this. And it's still very solid. I don't want that to be so. Yeah. More or less like this. How do you guys think? It's coming together. I think it's pretty neat. Then, of course, in order to make the reflections right, you need to apply also other kind of, you know, shape for the reflection. But this is like the basic kit for that. So, mm, mm, mm. Let me just double check. Yeah, it's the main. This should be more diffusion. Yeah, something like that. And the more diffusion, the less intensity. Let's leave that. So here you are. This is a neat way of removing reflections and getting the reflections and other ways that you can have in order to neutralize this is using, for instance, someone asked me the other day, so I'm going to put this aside, is, where is this is the main one. Okay, so this and this. So I'm just going to deactivate a bit those elements because I want you to see. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to apply, instead of the plus, I'm going to apply the iPod. You're going to see that the is slightly more incisive. Look at the iPod and look at the plus. See the edges. So again, this. Those are going to be like the two different options in order to how to get a nice response. But don't use a screen. Screen is never a good idea. It's just going to look very strange. Okay. If you use soft light, you are going to have dark areas because you cannot mix unless you premix things. And we start with the questions that are going to just to unfold like 3 hours conversation. So because of this is not a class, this is just me showing how to make this work and just being nice and showing you that there are other ways, of course, and I am aware of that. But yeah, I'm just going with this way. Okay, so yeah, this is plus. For this, I'm just going to remove. So let's have a look at the whole picture now, overall. Because maybe it can be about time to let it go. Because yeah, there are so many things that I can do to the shots. For instance, I can remove the highlight in there. That is again playing with the contrast. I can even play with this area with a let's play. We have time. Let's apply a filter. So I'm going to kill that reflection. So I'm going to use the minimum, for instance, this and this in minimum. So of course, now I just need to isolate the area that I want to kill. Let me just go with a key mix. So this, I'm going to invert. So this is A, this is B. And that area, this is what I meant. So you can apply something like that. Of course, you need to denoise, regrain. But let me just show you again. It's because we are compressing everything so much that at the end, I don't even know how much is just going to worth to apply grain. It's so dark that it's not going to make much difference. Let me show you. Here you are, gone. So you have the reflections that I got procedurally. So as you can see, there is always a way of just by using the operation is because you understand what's going on in terms of the light that you want to average, for instance, in here. There is an amount of diffusion in here that you want to cover the specularity. So what you want to do is just to replace, again, just for going conceptually. So you want to replace this with this. So what you are doing is covering specularity with diffusion. So if there is diffusion involved, there is always a blur. And the rest, is just that. So it's just isolating and just getting what do you want? Do you want the more, the less? But at the end of the day, it's just the same application. So before I move forward, because today, I mean, it's almost 10 in here in Stuttgart, which is 8 GMT. What would you like to see, guys, in here? Do you like me to move towards another shot? Do you want me to apply something? Do you want me to play more with motion graphics. I mean, there are plenty of things for sure that I can do to this shot, but maybe, I mean, the motion graphics, yeah, it is interesting, but maybe it's not the most interesting thing that. So because you are here, because why not? So you can tell me what would you like to see. So GMT, Swampy is saying is 9 GMT, isn't it? No, is 9 in London, and London right now is in British summertime, which is GMT plus 1. So right now I'm pretty sure is almost 8 GMT. So it's going to be exactly 7:56 GMT. Background. So Isabel is saying maybe a night background behind. Well, we can. What kind of background would you like? Because we have the question of the background is just going to depend on the green screen. So it's going to be very very easy, very silly. But let's do it. Maybe it's another shot if you want, of course. Yeah, Federico, I have so many shots. I have shots for, I don't know, going in retirement with this series. So yeah, I have something like the other day because I was organizing the archive for materials, and I have something like 40 terabytes of materials that I can use. 40 terabytes of material is slightly too much. So yeah, but yeah, I'm very grateful. I have plenty of people that has been collaborating and donating materials for the stream. So I'm very grateful for this. So let me put the background. Let's do the background. Uh, uh, um, Primate. Let's do it in the laziest way. Primate. I love to do this. This, this, and this. You know, it's amazing. The hotel has a rotatory door. So the rotatory doors in the hotel are super useful because the cold is not entering, but everybody's using the regular door. So yeah, I'm kind of getting frozen in here. Here you are. Just lighting. And just with 2 clicks, I just got kind of good enough for this. So background noise, here you are. Background noise, foreground noise. Yeah, pretty much. And this is going to be my base for the background. And I'm going to apply, of course, the background before this color correction that is just for the lift. So I'm going to apply a grade just to make sure everything is in place. So I'm going to invert. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply a ramp. And I'm going to play with this. And I'm going to combine both. So this. Oh yeah, it's getting compressed. I mean, it's the script that is getting compressed. Federico is asking, is Primat the more accurate node for the core mat? No. No. I was joking. Is no, there is no right note, no wrong note for doing techniques. It depends on what you have, depends on what you need, depends on how you want to approach it. There is no good notes and bad notes or better notes than others for doing certain. No. Uh, that would be treating the notes as recipes. Notes are not recipes, are ingredients. So is salt better than sugar? Mm, no, it doesn't make much sense. So this is the kind of question. So no, I like the this but I can get a good format with practically anything. Even key light is very effective for that. So let's see. Oh, of course, this is mask, and so this is the and this is the other. So I'm going to invert. Here you are. Getting nice. It's getting nice, Isabel, as you were asking. Hopefully, I hope you like it. So this is the area. Okay, so it's inverted. So now I'm going to reverse. Now I don't want to use the multiple. I'm going to use the offset because I want to give it a bit of light. Something like this. Now with this, I can play with the amount of light or the color of light that I want to apply. So something like that. It's going to look strange. I think personally think this works better when you don't have any kind of color in the background, but there is nothing wrong with having this. See? So that is a way of putting a background. So it depends on on what you like at the end of the day. So there is no right or wrong here. But you know what? Sometimes we are convinced of something is not working before we try. And you will be surprised how many times you are preconceiving your own ideas wrong. So just give it a chance. If you have the time, just give it a shot, a chance, because you are going to discover things. So yeah, why not? No, it's very interesting. Sorry, I'm getting a bit distracted because I have um, a couple of people that is arguing in front of me. I mean, this is now to become like a is it's very interesting. It's becoming how to distract Victor from compositing his notes. So I have been living things, and I've seen things you people wouldn't believe. so so yeah, this is the background. Let me just check the comments. So camera projection is a possibility. What do you mean, camcall? Uh, it's you said not sure if camera projection is a possibility. What do you mean? Camera projection in here. I have a camera projection in here. Here you are. There is a camera projection that I am applying over this, just for having a reference. So if you elaborate a bit more, maybe I can give you a better answer. Have I seen the new Deadpool 3 trailer? Yeah, of course. And it's super cool. It's very nice. You guys like it? It's super cool. I mean, Deadpool is just a very very crazy character. I love the interaction and the thing that he's also playing around with the pop culture around the Marvel movies. So yeah, even the Disney, he's even making references of Disney. So it's fun because he's taking into account us as an audience. So he's breaking the fourth wall, and that is quite cool. In terms of storytelling, that is a nice element. In terms of the stories itself, yeah, it's another Marvel superhero movie, which is what it is. They are cool. They are super super cool. Very well done. In terms of visual effects, they are astonishing. But in terms of story, it's a bit boring again and again and again and again. So yeah, yeah. I remember when something like 14 years ago, something like 2010, 2011, Steven Spielberg said, with the superhero movies, it's going to happen like with the cowboys films, westerns. It's like one day, people is just going to get tired. They are not going to work anymore. And people is not going to watch it. So yeah, they can be, of course, good Western movies, but it's not going to be like the fashion of the moment. That happens in, I remember I was reading that article in 2000. Yeah, it was before 2012 for sure, because I was working at Union VFX on that period. I remember I was talking about, and that was like, it was the, I would say it's not the beginning because of course Iron Man was already released many years before, but it was like, in the moment of superhero movies, Marvel movies going up like crazy. And now we are experiencing that audiences are not that kind of interest on. And I don't think the movies are bad, just to be clear, or that the movies are getting worse, because now there is a tendency, even the memes that you find on the internet, that there are the fans of Marvel is like, oh, a good film, a good film, a bad film, a good film, a bad film. I don't think they are bad. It's just like sometimes they resonate a bit more or a bit less, but they are more or less all the same. It's like Western movies, in the 40s, or it's like more or less the same principles and the values and the themes. So after a while, you have enough of the same things and you want to see other things. But yeah, I think they are super cool, and Deadpool is kind of another cool movie with visual effects, but storytelling. If you want to see new things, you should seek independent movies, because right now it's super cool that everybody loves Christopher Nolan, but the best Christopher Nolan films are, for me, the the very first, for instance, or the second. Yes, Memento. If you haven't watched Memento, I mean, make yourself a favor and watch Memento. It's beautiful. It's super cool. The way that the storytelling is evolving in there is super cool. So I prefer to go to the cinema to be challenged, to think, to see something I haven't seen before, or to see something in a way has never been told before, or at least trying. So yeah, yeah, and that was the that was because you asked me about if I watched the Deadpool trailer. Have you watched it, you guys? I'm just giving you time because to answer. I'm not even sure if you are listening to me or if I am alone in the hall of a hotel next to a cold door. Sounds pretty miserable. It's not that bad. No worries. It's not that bad. I'm really enjoying, and I already saw plenty of friends that are looking at me like, what are you doing? But you are my friends too, so I cannot just leave you just because I'm having fun. So I want to take you here with me. Wild, wild west. Oh yeah, oh yeah. That is a mix of both. That is a mix of superhero and western. So yeah, I remember, and think that Will Smith turned down the Matrix to do Wild Wild West. Choices. Yeah. So, what do you guys think? Do you think we should move to another shot? Do you want me to keep working on this, adding elements and playing around, or anything in particular that you would like to see on this shot or any other shots? Just, I'm going to give you a few minutes to answer. Hi, Francesco. Francesco said, "Sorry, I'm late." No, you are not. You are not late, Francesco. You are perfectly in time, and you guys can always watch this recording, so it's fine. If you are here, making keeping my company, I'm super grateful. But if not, I will gonna do it anyway. The nice thing is, like, if you are watching live, you can interact with me. You can decide. You can ask me questions. So yeah, Federico is voting for. Let's do another shot. So who is? Now we have one vote in favor of changing the shot. Oh, Isabel is asking a nice question. What do you propose for the other shot? Well, I was thinking, I want to challenge myself. I want to do things like just to see, to try things, to understand what's going on, what's to fail. Remember that this is a super cool space to fail. So to try things and they don't work, and then understanding why things don't work is actually very educational for me. It's like, yeah. So I was thinking to take one photograph and make it a visual effect shots by adding elements. So convert a single photograph into a motion picture. So just putting elements and adding things, just how to make it dynamic, and just to get a picture, just to be clear, a picture that is 8-bit, and just to get into an ASIS workflow with that image, and go for super white values and make it like balance and you know other stuff. I mean, to be honest, it's not better or worse to have the, let me just put the camera in here. So I don't think is having another shot is going to be more fun or less fun. It's just going to be different problems that to solve. But at the end, I'm here this time with you just to find problems, solve them. Um, because of my experience, I have several ways of approaching problems, but of course, every single day, I'm going to learn something new. So I think it's even beautiful if we share this moment where I can find a problem that I never found before. And that happens every day. And just to find the right mind space, just to accept that you have no idea how to fix it, but also to have the self-confidence to understand that you fix it in the past so you can fix it now, because it's not the solution what you need but the procedure. Yeah, that's why I created the poster of the mind mapping conceptualization of light, that by the way you can find it in my links in my social media. If you don't know where is my social media and you are living under a stone, just go in the comments. I mean, go, you will find. Google me. You will find it. I don't have the I don't have now the copy and paste thing, so I cannot put it in there. But you know, seriously, you can find me easily. And in there you can download my poster is free. It's completely free. And that is what I mean. It's like is I believe in life is not important the answer, but the right questions. Because everybody has a different answer for the same question, but everybody can and need to have certain questions in their minds. So the most important part of all of this, of why I'm doing this for you and for me, is because I always was afraid of showing that yeah I have the answers and I have the when I was young and I wanted to demonstrate that yeah I know I'm good because I have the answers, and that is not the way. And making mistakes is a luxury that I love. For instance, this space, I love to when something is not working because it's when I'm going to learn. And having mistakes for me is something I think I saw it in a film, but I'm not sure. It's not my sentence, just to be clear, but that, that is why someone said that do you know why pencils have a rubber on the other side? Because people make mistakes. So exactly. So that's why we have rubbers. And even in the Wacom we have a one. By the way, now that we are talking about Wacom, just by pure chance, I had the opportunity to test a new device from Wacom last week, and holy moly, it is really, really amazing. I'm not sure I can talk about that this week because it's planned to be released this actual week. I don't know if it was released yesterday, today, or tomorrow, but I don't think it was already released because I haven't seen anything yet. But I can tell you it's a real game changer in every sense. And it's super, super, super cool. I cannot say anything else. But yeah, I have been uh, trying a few Wacom devices, and including the Syntix Pro, the new Syntix Pro, and the color is really scary. It's really, really good. Wacom is, I mean, I have been loving Wacom since I don't know 20 years ago that I started using them. Um, and the new Syntix are a completely different approach. Wacom is understanding now the creative industries, and the precision of color is something that they couldn't disregard anymore. So now they are paying attention to us, and I'm super happy because now the new Wacom models are super precise in terms of color, and different color spaces available, and now is is having the right attention for that. So I cannot say more, but probably if they allow me, I'm going to show you one of them. And yeah, next week I think we are going to start, and we're going to start from real scratch. We are going to search together for a picture, and we are going to download elements. Next week is going to be it's going to be back home in London. So I'm going to be doing the streaming as usual. Hopefully, you never know. So yeah, I think that is going to be it. That this is going to be enough for this shot. So I want to again to shout out Keen Tools for collaborating for this, because they are really amazing. Have a try with this if you never use the Keen Tools Geo Tracker. Um, eh, all the face builder and face tracker and all the tools that they have. is really remarkable. If you don't have them, uh, you have no idea what you are missing, seriously. So just have it a try. It will be really, really cool. So this is going to close the actual first, but maybe in the future I'm going to use it for others. So it's fine. They are super good friends and very, very nice people. And of course, as usual, thank you, Foundry, for being supporting this. I'm also going to thank myself for being so constant and disciplined to be here, not to let you down. Thank you, because without you, this would make no sense, and I will be working alone at home, which is kind of sad because at the end of the day, art is sharing. So even even sharing this for me is part of the art of compositing. So I'm going to 7 GMT. Until then, this has been Victor Perez for Note by Note at FMX 2024.